Hello guys, thank you so much for joining us today. As above, so below, this is Venus Energy, Venusian Energy, like I like to say it. To each and every one of you guys, if this is your first time in my life, my name is Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. I am the Apostle and Pastor of Apostolic Faith of Jesus Christ Incorporated, and my beliefs are deeply rooted into the ATRs. These are the African traditional sciences by which we harness, direct, and disperse energy, frequency, and vibration. Thank you so much for being a part of our lives, and thank you so much for those that been following me and being showing some level of support to each and every one of you guys. Excited to be here with you guys because I do magic no matter what I'm going through, what I'm dealing with, and I like to be transparent, giving many of you guys behind the scene. I thought I put my do not disturb on. Apparently I didn't. I didn't do that. Okay. Anyway. So, this is what we're going to be doing today. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys. I have been out to the ocean. I have been to the cemetery, getting my healing and also getting my strength so I can do what I do. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys that have been sincerely concerned about my well-being. And I want to say thank you so very much to give me an opportunity to regroup and to be the best that I can be when it comes down to these ATRs. I want to say salutations to my Madrina, to my Padrino, to my Oba, to my brothers and sisters in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Palo, Mystic, and Adjays. I am a Christian pastor that I apostle. What's up there? Is that green? I need to put my glasses on so I can actually see. What's up, Michael? Thank you so much. Greetings to you as well. Oh, that's right. Michael be getting a conversation with me soon. And then I got my Monique 444, my cancer crab cakes. I want to say to each and every one of you guys, this is going to be a very informative live while we do some of the venerations that we do when it comes down to the ATRs. I also want to say to those that do not know, I've been practicing magic since I was a child. I'm 51 years of age. I will be 52 the 15th of this month of December. And I have been doing conjure and mysticism and doing real courtroom work and, you know, all that other good stuff. And the reason why I say that oftentimes because I always like y'all to know that I didn't start this yesterday and I did not get what I got through ceremonies, initiation. Did I get licensed once I got into Ocha? Yes. Did I get licencia when I got into Palo? Yes. But my gift, my talents, my abilities, I already had those from birth. And I always like to say that, you know, some people say they're a self-made millionaire. But when you were born a millionaire, it's a different ballgame. Don't mean you can't teach money. Don't mean you can't teach people. But I think that it's very important for people to understand that if you are following me, that I have been doing magic since I was a child. I'm talking about 34 years old, and I have been proficient. All right, Monique said, I love the hat. I just actually got it. I was getting something to eat, and then I just saw the hat. Well, I saw the hat, and then I searched for my size. But I want to say to each and every one of you guys that I have a privilege being able to talk to melanated people and giving people honest and real and accurate information. The reason why I do this is because I feel like melanated people have been at a disadvantage because of their history, because of them really not knowing where they come from and I realize that a lot of my confidence that I have in magical practices has a lot to do because I know where I come from. I know the people that I work with, and I also know my ancestors and how they have entreated me in life before they transcended to death. And I want to say to each and every one of you guys, this is the building block of a relationship. That's why I always say that magic is about relationship. Now, those that know that I have been overcoming, like since I received a Babaluaye, St. Lazarus, I have been going through series and series of illness that I have gone through. I've never been a sickly person, but I have just overcome the cough, the cold, and so therefore I got muscle tightness and whatever. But if he brought me this far, I'm gonna be completely healed. So I'm used to being able to snap my fingers and move in pain. I'm used to being able to basically twitch my nose and get what I want. That's what I've been accustomed to. But through process of growth They've been allowing me to go through certain things, and not that I've even endured a lot of these sicknesses a very long time, but me being the type of individual that I'm used to eradicating sickness or eradicating a situation very quickly, and for many, many years, I've been able to manifest the amounts of money that I want, the things that I want. So me having to actually wait, and those that know that I'm a Sagittarius, Moon in Aries and Rise on Pisces, patience ain't my thing. But I respect the process of what they want me to do. What's up there? Sierra, I think CRT. And then I got my 6 and 9 is in the house. And then I got my Demetrius here with me as well. Gemini in the house. Mama Susan is in the house. I'm got my glasses back on now, so I can actually see. I don't want to miss nobody. Now, the reason why I would be significant in what I'm going to talk about is because I have been venerating Egun, which are ancestors, Moreto's ancestors, for a very long time. And I have a very magical background on both sides of my family, my mother's side as well as my father's side. And I've had the privilege of having a very serious conversation with my son. My eldest son is a Cancer, and we have the same moon sign. Me and my mother have the same moon sign. My son, eldest son, have the same moon sign. And so we were discussing a lot of things when you have a lot of fire energy in your raising. My grandfather is a Sagittarius. My grandmother is a Sagittarius, and then my father is a Cancer. And my son's birthday is on the 20th. My father's birthday is on the 17th of July. So they're very close in energy. And then I have my mother, who's a Virgo, with Moon in Aries. And I learned that, I got that information from my son. And so therefore it made a lot of sense about how I grew up. Now, I know that a lot of us are mad with our parents, and we're mad with this person and that person, and not really understanding energy and by which we need to operate in, and why certain things happen with certain people in life. And so one of the things that I do is try to answer a lot of questions. I'm trying to, because of this particular election that just took place, I am trying to get to a certain place. I was out a little bit looking for a goat, because I need to sacrifice a goat before my voodoo spirit. He's right over there. And I'm trying to get prepared. I did the roosters. I did the chicken. I did all of that. I did the white doves. I call them pigeons. I did those as well. But I need to get a goat head, and it has to have horns. And so normally I go to Tampa to get those things. But I've seen all of these. I'm like, all this wildlife. I'm seeing cows. I'm seeing horses. I'm seeing all this stuff. Like, why in the hell I can't get a goat without going to Tampa? But no here, no there. Now, I want to say salutations as well to Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Libra, and Virgo. Hello to you as well. What's up, Ryan? Thank you for being, that's my Libra. Thank you for being with us on tonight. This is Friday night. This is Venusian Energy, Laws of Attraction. In Laws of Attraction, I teach about universal laws. I do not teach my personal practices, but I do teach universal laws, because it doesn't matter where you are, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced. I talk to some of my clients today, and periodically trying to get a lot of you guys in better positions, especially those that want to be memberships in Palo, those that want to be memberships in my Orisha or my Haitian Voodoo practice. I want to say this, that I've had what's up there? I got your text message, my Jelly Sweets, my other Gemini. I got your text message. Congratulations as well. And I try to work as a team. I don't, like, me personally, I came up that just like going to a job. I don't let nothing stop me. I don't care how I'm feeling, what's going on with me. I'm very persistent in things I do. I got to really, but I've been recuperating my body, because my body is my temple, and my body has to be up to par for the type of magic that I'm going to be doing for a lot of you guys. And I'm going to be doing, especially those that become a member of my Haitian Voodoo, that's going to be on a whole level. That's going to be extraterrestrial. That's going to be the finest grade that I offer in my own personal spirituality. And those that are part of My Orisha family knows that I am crowned Mafedifun Oya Yanza, and I'm also crowned Mafedifun Babaluaye. So I cover a lot of territory, and I'm also initiant, a scratch into Palo Miambe. I am father of the cauldron. That's what they call Tata Nkisi. And so I am the my cauldrons consist of Luceramundo, Siete Rayos, Centella, who is my mother in Palo, and also Kobiende, which is my father in Palo, and then also Zarabanda. My voodoo is tied to, my Haitian voodoo is tied to those particular tribes. So congratulations to Sister Monique, that is part of my Apollo family. Demetrius is also a part of a part of my Apollo family. Darius is a part of my Orisha family. Esa, the Ache is coming through, and I'm more excited because I've heard certain people talking about getting involved. Now, the reason why I'm saying before I start what I'm going to teach tonight, the reason why I'm excited. What's up there, Darcy White? I think I pronounced it right. The reason I'm excited about the Haitian voodoo is because that is my cream la croix. It is where I'm going to be able to flex the heaviest for my clientele. A lot of times people cannot financially afford my actual services when it comes down to Haitian voodoo, because like I tell people all the time, Haitian voodoo and Ocha is the most expensive traditions out there when it comes down to spirituality. And not that the other traditions do not cost, but these are the most high-end of the African tradition, because all that is involved in the type of magic that we do. I have been to the ocean with Yemija, some people call. I've also, because I do Kabbalah, I work with Tharsis, which is and I work with Nixa, and so I do a lot of types of magic when it comes down to working with the water element. And then when it comes down to the cemetery, I was out there, and I was also taking care of Minister Mario, son of Achosius' grave. My dad, I went out there, pour out libations for them, and also I poured out libations for the governing spirits of the governing spirits of that particular cemetery, which I teach people about necromancer because I'm a natural necromancer. And so I explain that every cemetery is not the same, and every practitioner of Egun or ancestor or Moeto is not the same, because everybody does not have the same connection. Now, I was born what the black people call with a veil over my face. So I practice a various of hoodoo, voodoo, obia. I love magic, but my first love is Haitian voodoo. I don't put nothing above that. But I love it all. If it's magic, I'm with it. So whether you're on the left-hand path or the right-hand path. Now, what I am also going to say before we get started tonight is that I am a proactive individual. I do not wait till the last minute to get anything done. What's up there, my aphrodisiac, Natasha Foster, by Aquarius from North Carolina? Yes. My crab cake said, yes, sir, the baddest man on the planet. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be one of the most awesome chaos being that ever touched down on planet Earth. I know I ain't the only one, but I'm trying to striving to be one of the most powerful chaos beings. So what I was doing out at the cemetery, to let some of you know, because of what was going on with my lower part of my body, I was standing on the graves, because graves operate as a portal, and so the bones that are in the ancestors that are inside of the coffin, I am a necromancer, and so those that do not understand how energy flows, so energy flows in from your crown and goes out through your legs, and so therefore I wanted to make a connection with my dad today. So I stood on his grave after giving my libations, my offering, and then I petitioned my father for certain things, and I went to my father's mother, and because I'm going to be talking about why I do the things that I do. So I've been in contact with Egun pretty much all day, and getting stuff done, not only for myself but for my clientele, because when my spirits are stirred, they get a lot of stuff done for me and for the people that assist me, bless me. Especially, let me tell y'all something. What I am proud of, because many of you guys do not have a problem testifying on social media of the things that you are experiencing through working with my products, whether it's my incense, whether it's my cleansing, whether it's personal ceremonies that we have done, or being a part of, especially because I think we almost got enough people to do my 13th circle. I think we're shy of 3 or 4 people getting that done. And so these are the different avenues, certain ma'am, that I am going to be able to manifest tangibly for my clientele, because you guys do not have a problem coming on here and testifying of the things that you are experiencing. And so I want to talk about, and then I left, I went to my dad, I went to my mom, my grandmother, and then I went to Minister Mario, and then asking them to take care of certain things, because that the whole purpose of, especially concrete graves, and like on my mom's side, we have more like granite on our graves. And so you have to be at a certain evolution when it comes down to being able to raise spirits through certain objects, and whether it's iron or whether it is out of a vault, because most Minister Mario's in a vault, my dad's in a vault, and my great grandmother, my grandmother, my son is here with me too, so he can verify some of this stuff. But my son that's his great grandmother, and that's where we get our Native American energy from, because she's Cherokee. And so I went to her grave, and I went to my father, and then I called, because whatever reason, like my grandfather on my dad's side, like I know where his grave is, but a lot of time when I'm looking for his grave, I can't find it. So when I was standing on my dad's grave, I called out to my dad's dad, because I was making succession of where I needed this energy to come from. And then I went to my dad's mom, and then I went to Minister Mario. So I went into those succession and allowing them to channel through those portals through my body. And so that's what I've been doing, from the ocean into the grave. And so that's where I've been doing all the day. And what I want to say to many of you guys, I'm going to be saying some things as a Sagittarius, Moon in Aries, and rising sign Pisces. Please, certain ma'am, put your big girl draws on. Put your big boy draws on. Do not get offended about anything that I say. If your life ain't like this, if you're not that 100 or 1,000 when it comes down to your spirituality, it is fine. I'm speaking to people that resonate. One of the things that I do not do, and I do not do because of this, I am not going to teach on a level because you're not there. I'm not going to teach on a level because you do not have those experiences. I'm also not going to teach on a level that makes me feel like I am lowering myself in order to amuse you or to entertain you. I'm here to teach you about real magic, what it is, where I'm coming from, and you determine whether you are ready for the next level, sir, ma'am, or you are content where you are. And so I'm going to talk about tonight everlasting remembrance, their history of their contribution. The main thing about veneration of ancestors and eguns and working with, whether it's Palo, whether it's Obia, whether it is hoodoo, I'm just trying to think of various of things that you work in concession with ancestors. And most of us that are in the church world, we are always searching for a God or goddess outside of self. I do not teach that. That is not a part of my practice. I start with the microcosm of the universe on the inside, and I work there outward. I'm also not a type of person that I sit around and observe to the point where I'm missing out on certain things. I don't believe that I was born in this timeline. I believe that I was born in this timeline to do a certain type of working. And I believe that a lot of people, especially growing up in the church, you think you got more time than you have. And my mom, being a Virgo, always taught me and my sister it's best to have a tool and not need it. Now, you may not understand the necessity of that because you feel like you have gotten by in your life the way that you live your life without those principles. But I could not live my personal journey without those principles and those concepts that have allowed me to be as successful as I have been. My next journey is journeying into millionaire status economically, apparently up under the Trump administration, because my God makes a way. Now, I'm going to be coming from, and please do not, if you're not there or you can't be there, because I took my Siete Rayos and Paca out there to the cemetery, and then this is my bracelet from Apollo. So I've been doing a plethora of contra today. But I'm going to be coming from Genesis, the 28th chapter. Starting at the 12th verse. If I'm saying this right. Yeah, I'm doing it correctly. So I'm going to read through this. And it said, and he dreamed, and behold, a ladder was set upon the earth, and the top of it reached to the heavens, and behold, angels of God were ascending and descending on it, which is the ladder, and which is really talking about your spinal cord. That's where a lot of the interaction of your egun and spirit and moretos and extraterrestrial, all that takes place on your spine. That's why you have 33 vertebrae. It's the ladder, how the spirit crawls and the spirit flows up and down your spine, depending on your spiritual ability. But I digress. And it goes on to say in verse 13, and behold, the Lord, the Lord stood above it and said, I am the God of Abraham thy father, and the God of Isaac. The land that wherewith thou liest, or y'all lay down, to thee will I give thee, and to thy seed. Now, the reason why a lot of people are failing in their magical practices is because you don't know the contract, or you're not interested in understanding the contract between you and these spirits. The reason why you have the ancestors, the reason why Jacob was actually having the dream, because the God of his ancestors was speaking to him, and he was in a particular space on that land which activated. So what I mean by that, certain man, there's only certain activations, or you're going to come online when you start touching certain types of dirt or land that belong to the blood of your ancestor. This is why a lot of times when people go back to Egypt, or they go back to certain lands of Africa, and they I remember having Mr. Mario order me a crystal. I just wanted something out of the motherland. I just needed something, the essence out of that land, because I understood that once my body, my DNA came in contact with that Ache, it was going to bring and awaken certain things or memories of my cellular structure. When you understand that when you get on the grounds where your ancestors are from, that's a whole nother power. It's like me and my son talks about with Hela, when Odin told Thor and Loki not to allow Hela to return to Asgard. Because if you think she's strong where she is, if she puts her feet on Asgard, she's going to be even more stronger and more powerful. So it's the reason why we go to the waters and these other things. But also when you go to a cemetery where your ancestors, their bones are, it gives you a stronger Ache, because there's somebody in that graveyard that y'all share the same DNA. Okay, let me go on. Teaching a little bit too much. And it says, I am the God of your father and the God of Isaac, the land where which I lie, and I will give thee and thy seed. So the promise was being given to him, Jacob, while he was yet having this dream about his relationship with the deity. So it goes on to say, and thy seed shall be as the dust of the earth, and thou shalt spread abroad to the west, and to the east, and to the north, and to the south. And in thy seed shall all families of the earth be blessed. So this is why I take the scripture, the earth is the Lord, the fullness thereof, to be ancestry, because the children, the meek shall inherit the earth. Those that are humble to their ancestry, because they are tied to this land. This is why you got Native American people, a lot of people that are out here professing to be of the original state. The oldest bone and the oldest fossil of that bone comes out of Africa. And there's pyramids all throughout of these United States of the Americas. And so therefore, a lot of times, some of us think that we came from another aspect of the land of Africa, when some of us, our ancestry or our bone magic comes right from this actual land. And you need to understand that. Not only did Jacob were getting information about who he was, he also was getting information about what was going to come through his seed. And see, this is why a lot of people cannot have confidence in their protection word and their provision word. Because, let me tell you something. My son, my eldest son is on here. And for whatever reason, my kids, this is how they is. If they want to challenge somebody, then they'll study the Bible. But I was getting on him about what life was. No, he had the nerve to say, he quoted this scripture to me. And he goes, because I'm getting on him by he need this and need that. He don't know he's going to have face when he get out in the world. I ain't going to always be here. I always talk to my kids like that. So he said, I've never seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed beg for bread. So no matter where I go, I know you the righteous and I'm your seed. See, when you know some of the contract that is between you and your Egun, or you and your ancestors, then you have a level of confidence in the provision that God or Goddess has for you. So it did not matter. What he had an understanding is, because I know that you are connected and you are who you say you are, because I done tested you, Daddy. I know God used you. I know God deals with you. But I also know that you have a covenant with the divine. And since I'm your seed, there are certain benefits and certain things that are going to happen for me just because I'm your seed. See, it is impossible for you to really walk out your voodoo, your Santeria, your Kumi, your Congo, your Palo, your mystic, and your agile when you really don't know the contract that your father or your mother may have with Egun or spirit or a particular land. You don't know the things that they have sown into that land. And so therefore, even though my son, my eldest son, is in California, come on here somebody. Even though my son is in California, the earth is the Lord. Wherever I tread my foot and I place my foot, my seed also, even the child that don't even talk to me, he get benefits as well. But my point is, to many of you guys, a part of spirituality is not just knowing who you are, but understanding the contract that your bloodline has with Egun. Whether it is in voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, mystic, don't matter. So I'm going. And it says, and behold, I am with thee, and I will keep thee in all places whither thou goest, and will bring thee again into this land. For I will not leave thee until I have done that which I have spoken of thee. Now, I need you to understand that when I set out on my journey, I did not know that my spirits were going to make contract. I did not know that my Eguns were going to do that. That was not a part of my consciousness, right? My thing was I was getting the ceremonies done, blah, 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 and I was doing the outward business aspect of my spirituality. But my Egun knew that I needed to be in a certain place and I needed to have certain things in order to manifest my destiny. I want y'all to understand this scripture. There's no such thing if you are truly anchored in your spirituality that you should forget, and I say everlasting remembrance. You need to know the history behind your magic. Oh, I'm gonna say that right again. I knew the history through Brother Mario, son of Achosi, because his dad and my dad were friends. Go figure. And that's how I learned more about my dad's spirituality from Minister Mario, son of Achosi. I knew more of the history of the magic in my mother's bloodline, but not so much on my father's side. But a lot of the ability to prophesy and the ability to preach. And then I had this uncle that I thought in the beginning, I thought he was my grandfather. Come to find out that he was really my uncle, my great uncle. But my gifting was very similar to his ability. He was the only one in that bloodline that was able to raise the dead. So even the energy, the contracts that I was having on both sides of the Egun, both sides of the map, knowing the history behind your magic also gives you a certain level of confidence and also direction, and why it solidifies who you are energetically. And so it's not the tradition that solidifies that. It is not the custom that solidifies that. It is the blood that runs through your veins and allows you to have certain access to certain energies, frequencies, and vibrations. All right? So the more I learned about the history on my because I was with Shadow Woods, and she kept talking about all these Native American spirits that were around me. But because I did have an understanding that my dad, mom was Cherokee, it made sense why she was seeing all these Native American. Now, I'm going to say this as well, because I did not know at 13 years of age. My spiritual dad told me to, one of the spirits that my spiritual dad had me working with was Saint Black Hawk. I'll tell you that much. So one of the spirits that I was working with when I was very young was Saint Black Hawk. And he was talking about he was a Native American, but he introduced me to that spirit. But the reason why that he introduced me to that spirit is because it was in my history. And so a lot of times when people are trying to do conjure against me, or people are trying to do things behind my back, those spirits, those are watchmen over my soul. And so those spirits come to me and tell me certain things, because we call them lookout or watchers. All right? So you just can't just go out there and say, oh, I'm just going to get this kind of spirit. I'm just going to get... No, it has to be in the bloodline, and it has to be given to you a spirit. Let me say it like this. Apostle Paul was able to impart the gifts of his spirit into other people because he was an apostle. But that in order to impart something, you got to have it. So you can give an energy, a frequency, or vibration to somebody if you possess that energy. But I did not know why my spiritual dad introduced me to Saint Black Hawk. I also didn't know why that my spiritual dad had me studying Mosaic magic as heavy as I was. And he was, because he was in the Masonic order, and there are certain books that he allowed me to open and do conjure in, even though I was just a kid. And what he wanted to see is how those spirits would respond to me. And I remember, I ain't gonna lie, because I'm a Sagittarius, I ain't gotta lie about nothing. So one day he had left, and me and his nephew was in his store. And so I went behind the counter and I grabbed the book. And so I opened the book on the counter, and he wasn't there, so that's what I was doing when he wasn't there. So I'm just being honest. So when I opened the book and I did the conjure that he had already taught me, these spirits start coming up, right? So long story short, so he comes back, I put the book away, trying to act normal, me and his nephew trying to act normal. So he comes in the store, he comes right to me. He said, "You've been messing with that book." Now I'm shocked. Okay, I know you can see, I know you can read, but how you know I just messed with the book? He said, "I know you've been messing with that book." He said, "Because all around my store is all these spirits. And those spirits came from that book. So I know it was you that was messing with that book." Okay? So also in my spiritual dad store, he has this the angel Samael. So he has a mirror pointing towards the door. It's really to protect the store from other workers and other spiritualists. But I want to tell y'all something. So one day I was with him, and he was having this conversation. I was behind the counter, he was on the other side of the counter, and I was standing behind the counter, and what was happening is something was trying to show me what was guarding his store. I don't know why it happened. Even I'm 50, almost 52, I still don't even know why it happened. So what was happening is he's standing there having this conversation with me, and then he has his spiritual dad's staff. So he's sitting there banging his staff in front of me, but I'm watching like if you ever seen a garage lift up. So I'm watching some elevation, like I don't know, it was like it was another world. Like the elevator was not sure, but the garage door was coming up. I'm gonna use that as an example. So I'm looking down at the foot of this. At the time, I'm thinking it's a centaur because the hoofs of the animal was black, and then the legs were fire red. But what was happening, I was about to see the full spirit of Samael, because that was what the spirit that was guarding there. But it only came up to like maybe mid high, and it just stopped. But I was able to see the bottom half of this spirit that was walking around. Like I've been in this store so many times and not knowing that that spirit was walking around. And I don't know why to this day why he wanted me to see that much. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying this even as a spiritual person. You see what they want you to see. You know what they want you to know. I don't care how good of a conjurer you are, but I was really young when I saw that. And so let me go on and read it. So verse 16 says, Jacob awakened out of his sleep, and he said, surely the Lord is in this place, and I knew it not. Kind of like my situation. And then it says, and he was afraid and said, how dreadful is this place? This is none other than the house of God, and this is the gate of heaven. So he understood that he was at a portal. So the reason I'm telling y'all this, I was having those type of experiences 12, 13, 14 years old. I was having out-of-body experiences as a child. I was flying. I've always been able to fly in my dreams. Always been able to fly in my dreams. My youngest son's the only one that don't fly. He probably get that on. He grounded through his mama and disrespect of me. Anyway, so okay, verse 18 said, and Jacob rose early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar and poured oil on top of it. Now, Jacob realizing what was going on, what was happening, what experience he had. So now he's consecrating the very stone. This is why when you see certain rocks and certain, especially in Ocha and Santeria Lukumi, and you're looking at Orisha, and you saw, no, these stones were carrying the energy, the frequency, and the vibration of these spirits, these Orisha. And Jacob understood that. And so now he's consecrating this particular stone where he laid his crown and went to sleep and had all these visions about the divine. So it goes on to say, put as his pillar and set it up for and poured oil upon it. Verse 19. And he called the name of that place Bethel, which is the house of God. But the name of that city was Luz at first. Verse 20 says, and Jacob vowed a vow, saying, if God will be with me, and will keep me in the way that I should go, and will give me the bread to eat and raiment to put on, so that I will come again to my father's house in peace. That's important. When I'm in the cemetery, I always say I depart in peace. If I leave a grave, I depart in peace. If I'm doing a ceremony, I close that ceremony out in peace. So just because a lot of y'all don't do that, and some of y'all don't even close the ceremony out. And it says in verse 21, so that I will come again to my father's house in peace. So then shall the Lord be my God. Now this is the part what I want to get to. And this stone, which I have set for a pillar, shall be God's house. And of all that shall give me, I will surely give a tenth of this. This is when it talks about the laws of reciprocity. Jacob started giving back to the divine based off of contract. Okay, let me say this again. Your giving should be predicated off of the contract or the relationship you have with the divine. A lot of times people don't understand when I tell them, I said, if you bless me, what's going to happen is, depending on the contract that I have with the Divine Mother and Father, that your blessing will come to you based on that contract. If you don't have a personal contract with Egun, Moreto, or Riso, or Loa, and Pungo, then the person that you're giving to, like people used to come to my spiritual dad and pay their tithe to my spiritual dad, because I'm very accustomed to seeing people, money exchange. And there are people that did not want to go to church, but they knew that he knew Powerful Conjure. And so they would pay him a percentage of their business income, a percentage of whatever they had coming in. So this is very familiar to me, even as a child. People giving into my bosom, good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. But it is still predicated on the relationship of that individual with said spirits. So whatever spirits that were protecting my spiritual dad's businesses and himself started protecting that person, and they were getting blessed and so forth, whatever he had to offer them. The same thing is true when it comes to me being Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. It doesn't matter that you are not in contract with Egun. Doesn't matter if you're not initiated into Palo or there. I am. And when you give your money, your time, your energy, and your resources, you receive a blessing. So those, which means that the same people that receive a blessing are different. If you decide to come against me, then you come against the contract or the spirits that have contracted with me to protect me and to follow me all the days of my life. So just like you can get blessed through those contracts, you can get cursed through those contracts. The reason why I said everlasting remembrance, the purpose of venerating ancestors, Egun, is to always remind your ancestors or your people that follow you of the energy by which you get blessed, by the energy that heal your soul. That's why I did not have a problem coming on y'all and telling y'all about what I was going through, because I want you to see how my Eguns move for me. I go through some of the same situations that many of you go through, but I don't have the same outcome. I'm going to say that again. I might go through some of the same situations, have some of the same types of energy attacking me, but my outcome is different. That's why I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you bi. Somebody send me a cash app, praise the Lord. Money Instant. Got you on, Ryan. It is giving you a understanding that these powers, these spirits are contractual with a person. This is why we make certain oaths, certain vows. Remember, Jacob made a vow. When we get initiated, we make certain vows. We give blood sacrifices of ourselves to cauldrons and Egun. And so therefore, they are with, they follow me everywhere I go on planet Earth. This is why when Minister Mario, son of Achosi, let me explain to some of y'all. He had quite a few Orishas. And so Bata Inlay was an Orisha, the doctor and the nurse was an Orisha that he had Obatala, he had Oshun, he had Oya, Ogun. He had all of these Orishas before he passed. So what he did was he gave permission for his Obatala to stay with Padrino, with his Ogun to stay with Padrino. But he gave his Oshun to me in remembrance of relationship. Make whatever I lost, I would gain back. Okay? These energies are in everlasting. Remember, universally, energy cannot be destroyed. Cannot be destroyed. So if you are truly initiated, if you are truly a part of a spiritual family, those reminding, those venerations that you're doing, those libations that you're doing, it is a reminder. That's why Jacob did what he did. He said, this is the house of Bethel. So when Jacob came through that particular land and that particular city, he was going to go to that stone. He was going to go to that place where the angels were ascending and descending. And guess what? There were going to be more spiritual blessings that were going to come to him. So, and Minister Mario I'm not going to tell you everything that he has, but a lot of the other Orishas went back in the spirit world with him. They stayed with him. And so his father is Ochosi, but his mother is Yanza or Oya. We have the same mother in Ocha. And so and he also is Apollo priest, but he is a Paleto, but he never received his cauldron. That's what I'm going to give him, hopefully for Christmas. Make sure that he has his cauldron for Christmas, so he can in the spirit world he can become a Tata in Kisi. Energy, venerating ancestor energy. Like when I go out to a lot of my practices, I go back to my ancestors and I share my Ache with my ancestors. Especially those ancestors that have been fighting for me, are part of my life. This is why you need to know their history. You need to understand why you need to know who your grandmother was, or whoever you're working with, or your grandfather is, their bloodline, what type of practices they operate in. These are all significant. If you want to step beyond that and working with somebody like me, then you're working with my spirits and my eguns and my orishas, and you still need to know my history. Where does he get the energy to perform the workings that he does? I can say all day long I practice Haitian voodoo, but if there's no energy or frequency or vibration, it's not going to show up. That's why I tell a lot of times y'all see me talk to these people sideways, some people say, because if you don't believe I got some, go to your egun. Don't spend your time arguing with me or trying to debate with me. Because if that energy is in my spiritual court, it's going to manifest. If you test my energy, if you do a reading on me, because some of these people that they can read for me, they cannot read for me. But to those that claim to be in a place, why argue when all you got to do is throw the Delagoon? All you got to do is throw the Pele. All you got to do is throw Obi. All you got to do is throw a card. All you got to do is do your form of divination, whatever that may be. Because one thing about energy don't lie. So either I got what I got, and what mess up a lot of them is when they find out that I have what I got, you done already ran your mouth. Now you trying to make appease me and trying to befriend me when you done went outside your throat when it comes down to Chief Apostle Samuel Jr. Because I don't have to function the way that you function, because you were not born the way that I was born. I don't have to work with Egun the way you were Egun, because I was born to work with Egun. So therefore, that's why I don't tell people, well, do it like this. No. If you're working with me, then this is how I work with my spirits. That's how they work with me. But telling somebody like, and let me tell y'all something. I want to talk about my mom first, because this is where I'm getting to the cream of who I am. My mom is a Virgo. And my mom, moon is in Aries. My mom is living. My dad is deceased. My mom is still living. And my grandmother is deceased. But when I was coming up, my grandmother passed away when I was 18. So I lived majority of my life as a child until my 18 with my grandmother and my mother in my life. And my mother is a disciplinarian. Like, so let me explain to y'all. My mother don't whoop ass like normal mothers whoop ass. Okay? So, what I want to say is, my mother is very smart, very business oriented. We have different opinions about what I should be doing and how I look at life versus how she look at life. But my mother was always a businesswoman, and she always taught me and my sister about having certain tools and doing certain things a certain type of way. Because y'all know Virgos got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. They don't start in the middle, don't start on B, don't start on K. You start in the beginning and you run that plan methodically. And so I was that's why I'm such a calculated risk taker. I'm still a risk taker, as I said, but I'm a calculated risk taker. So me and my son was talking about how my mother was in our family. This is why you need to know the history of the Egun or the spirit or the energy, whether you raised by it or is influenced. So my mother, when I tell you my mother was nothing to be played with, like all of my uncles were thugs. When I say street men, fighting police, all I grew up with all that in my background. My family had money, but they will definitely will whoop your ass. Now, my father only chastised me twice. Once when I was young, because for whatever reason, when my mom told me that was between me and my father, I don't know how I interpreted. And I'm 52. I don't know why I interpreted her telling me that was between me and my daddy, that meant for me to go outside and cuss my daddy. When I tell y'all that my daddy whooped my ass so quick and so fast, I was shocked. I was befuddled. And he did it on my turf, which I mean my turf where I grew up with my uncles, my grandma. I went over his house and he did this. He did this right in front of my mama, right in the yard. And that's what I realized, that my mama knew my daddy wasn't nothing to play with. Because I don't see my mama jump on my sister daddy. I don't see my mama whoop a lot of people's ass. I'm just telling you. When I tell y'all my daddy whooped my ass so fast that I could have been in California with a earthquake. You know how the earthquake happened? You be like, I was traumatized. And I ran back in the house and I'm like, what happened? Like, I'm talking about, he hit me. All I remember seeing the top of the palm tree. All I know, he snatched me up. I got hit so many times, he could have been an octopus. And my dad, I don't know. My dad whooped my ass so fast. And let me tell y'all, I know what an ass whooping is, because my mama whooped my ass. So I want to be very clear. I know what an ass whooping. I just never got an ass whooping that fast, that direct, and that deliberate. I don't play with my dad. My dad believes, even when I started learning things about my dad, like my dad, family member, he was like, oh, he believed in putting his hands on people. My mom would talk about how he used to whoop on her. You know, I'm just being straight up with y'all. So I'm looking at my mom, so I'm like, that shocked me. So ain't nobody in the family gonna jump on this nigga? My grandma ain't finna cuss him out. Like, it should be going down. Cause he done did this on 34 Colt. And he done hit me. My mama ain't say nothing. I should have known better then. Cause my mama got a fly mouth. She ain't say nothing. I'm looking around. I got all these hoodlums for uncles and auntie. Ain't nobody. Everybody talking about that's between me and my daddy. Y'all don't say this about the police. Y'all don't say this about y'all other girlfriends or boyfriends. Y'all whooping everybody's ass. You whooping the police ass. You talking all kind of trash to the judges. Because I didn't know who my daddy was. That's what I'm here to tell you about, knowing the history. I know my daddy don't play. I didn't know how much he didn't play. So my dad ended up telling me that he done whoop my uncle them ass. I wasn't accustomed to that. I was not, y'all don't know my father is not no big man. Just like y'all look at me and say, oh, this little man, I'm medium, number one. But anyway, my father's not no big man. My daddy is a sharpshooter, but my daddy believes in fighting. Yeah, he had them hands. And I found out real quick. But what got me, y'all, is that I did not realize at the time why nobody in my family on my mama's side was trying to confront this nigga. And I'm thinking they finna go off because I'm special in my family. So I know he finna get his ass whooped. In my mind, I'm like, you finna learn about putting your hands on me. My dad whooped me twice. One time, that time, and then he told me and my cousin not to go in the ocean, and we did, and he whooped my ass again. And I sat it down. But I only got whooping twice, and that's all I really needed. But I was hearing all kind of horror stories from everybody else in the community about these ass whooping my daddy was giving out. Like he was Santa Claus. He was like, you get ass whooping, you get ass whooping, you get ass whooping. And my dad is the one that taught me really how to fight physically. And those that follow me know that, there's a thing in where my dad come from. They put you in a circle, and so you start fighting one person, you win. Because I would end up fighting 3 and 4 guys at one time. I didn't know some of them was my cousin. I was just whooping people's ass. Cause I didn't want to get ass whooping from my dad. So my daddy used to get me to fighting, and then when I go back home to my mama, she whooped my ass keep me from fighting. So keep your hands off people cheering. But I just left with my daddy. I've been putting my hand on people cheering all weekend. Now I gotta come back and remember, you don't want that. You don't believe in that. So she started whooping on my ass. I got so many ass whooping coming up, it's ridiculous. So the reason I brought this up, you got to know the history. My grandmother was a fighter. So if you don't know the history of your ancestors, your egos, and so what happened was, my eldest son, he here, so he'll tell you the truth. So my mom used to keep him while I would be at work. And when he get in trouble, she would tell me, and then when he get home, I would chastise him XYZ, right? So one day she called me up and she told me what he had did. And she said, but I'm going to handle it. I said, okay. So my son said, he had heard all of the stories about my mom, his grandmother. He said, but in his mind, she old now. She ain't got it like she used to. He said, Dad, he said that was the biggest he said, when I say if I ever underestimated somebody, he said I underestimated Grandma. He said, I know you put it on me. He said, but Grandma gave me the worst whooping I ever had. And let me tell y'all something, my son's on here. I have whipped my kids' ass. Like, kid you not. They knew there was an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? But he told me, he said, Grandma sat in a chair. She said, and she did not. He said, I ain't never got. He said, that was the longest whooping. That Virgo with that moon and Aries. He said that was the longest whooping he had ever had in his life. He said, and she talked the whole time. And he said, Grandma made me tell her, oh, that's where he got in trouble in school. And he said, Grandma beat me because you was out there working and her daddy had been there. He said I felt like she was that some of them licks I shouldn't have got because she was mad with her daddy. And he said I feel like she should have took that out with her daddy, but she took it out on me. So I'm just letting y'all know, like, my son, that whooping was so, and it was really her. So, and remember, me and my sister is 9 years apart. So I'm the eldest, but me and my sister 9 years apart. So my sister came along. I'm just trying to tell you how my mama is. So when my sister comes along, my mama got Virgos. My sister Gemini, so they immersed in something about, oh, they just communicate. Oh, she just tell me how she feel. I said, Mama, if I had said anything like that, you would have beat me to sleep. Like, I mean, you would have been so violent to me if my sister, my mama started warning her, she got older. All that talking back. With me, everything was talking back. If I sneezed, it was talking back. If I showed an expression in my face, it was talking back. I'm trying to get y'all, because I'm trying to tell you what history I come from. So I told my sister, I said, you ain't met Mama. I don't know who this other lady is, but you ain't met Mama. I don't know who this other lady is, because Mama talked with her hand. So one day, long story short, my mama told, my sister took the car and went out and whatever, I don't know. But Mama was mad. When I tell you that, when my sister walked through that door and I seen what my sister looked like, I said, now you have met our mother. When I tell you my mama whooped her ass, and when I tell my mama slammed her head, my sister's probably mad I'm saying it. She slammed her head into the car. Like, that's the mother I grew up with. I don't know who that other lady talking and all this communication. When she tell you, you don't want me to get her, she got a hold of my niece one time. She got a hold of my son. My mama did not play. And when I told my sister that day, I said, now you have met the woman that's our mother. I don't know who that other lady is. My grandmother was worse than my mother. Tracy, I'm scared of grandma. She did not play. My point is, and I'm making this a point. I said all that to say this. I promise you, as ruthless as I am, I promise you, I don't care if I went out and bought 50 cases of candles. I promise you my mama ain't worried about me burning one candle, no less than a half a candle on her. My mother don't care if I call every cemetery all the way up through the state of Florida. When I tell you my mother has no fear of who I am and what I am. Because what I'm saying to many of you are, if you put respect and the fear of God in your children, I don't care if they become the president of the United States. I don't care if they become the biggest conjurer, sorcerer in the universe. My mother earned her respect not only with me. Let me tell you, my mama ass with me. I got cousins that call my mama mama to this day. I'm trying to tell you, my mother called my sister was out there running her mouth about what was going on. You know, back then, what goes on in my house, stay in my house. My grandma was gonna whoop my cousin ass, her granddaughter. My mom said, "No, I got her." Grandma does not fight like a woman. No, my mama was strong like a man. My mama was strong. So, and my mom, if you just saw my mom very pretty. My mom was like, you wouldn't even think she was, like, she a Virgo. When they say Virgo look innocent, but she was not innocent. But she looked innocent. I don't look innocent. You wouldn't think because the pretty as my mama was and how my mama dressed and how you wouldn't even think my mama would break a nail. My mama break a foot off in your head, no less than a nail. So, but her sister, her elder sister was way worse than her. So, what I was saying, oh, my cousin. So my mom told my grandma, she said, I got her. Let me tell y'all something. My mama told me go outside. We had back then a shotgun house. I'm just giving y'all some history. So we had that shotgun house. My mama was in there putting what's happening on my cousin's ass. She called her mama to this day. To this very day, 2024, she called her mama. To this day. And her, they don't call her auntie, they call her mama. And biologically, she is. You put an ass whooping on somebody, you change your relationship with them. But she came out. So I don't know how my cousin did it, but she ended up getting out of the house. My mama came to that door. She looked at me. She said, you better catch her or I'm going to whoop your ass. I knew the assignment. I understood the assignment. And I was the fastest in when it came to my bloodline for a while. And she had done got down the road. I ran that sister down. I called her and I drug her back. And she was like, oh, she gonna kill me. Better you than me. Because she already told me if I don't come back here without you, she gonna put it on me. And I get enough ass whooping. I ain't trying to hit. I drove her all the way back to that house and pushed her in the house and closed the door. And next thing I heard was a kalama, bama lama. So I'm just telling y'all, all y'all that claim that you in Ocha and you call it abuse, you can call it what you want. I bet my mama ain't worried about me and my sister cussing her out. I bet my mama ain't worried about her grandchildren cussing her out and disrespecting her. All of my sister kids know my mama ain't never play with. And she ain't, and I remember one time telling my mom, I said, oh, I'm taller than you. She said, what that supposed to mean? I'm taller than my mom and daddy. I do not play with them. I am biologically taller than my mother and my father. And I got some hands too. And I got a few mouth. My parents don't know nothing about that. I ain't only disrespect my daddy and he dead. When I be at the cemetery, it's a daddy this and a daddy that. I know my daddy's biological name. I do not play with my father. My father said the fear of God in me. He only whooped me twice. Because if you whoop that ass right, and that's spiritually and naturally, they will never forget you. You have an experience, spiritual help. I know that my protection is on a certain level because I was taught, mind your, when my mom used to look at me, she didn't even say nothing. She gave me a look. I was like that lady from Lot's wife with pillow of salt. I was like a statue. I don't want none. I remember my uncle told me, I seen my uncle discipline, because the men in the family normally discipline all the boys. My mama whooped my ass so much, they told me like, your mama whoop your ass enough. I'm glad you know. I thank you for that. I have never got physically a whipping from nobody other than my grandma, and those love taps. Cause I seen what she did to my mama, and seeing what she did to my auntie, I realized at that point my grandma did not put what's happening on me. When I saw my mom get the taste slapped out of her mouth by my grandmother, and I saw what she did to my auntie, I knew at that point what I got that day was a love tap. She was not trying to whoop my ass. Because when I saw what she was able to do with my mama, and what she was able to do with my auntie, and how my uncle and my cousin, and my mama, my grandmother's brothers, oh my God. Oh my God, on today, when I tell you I got some ancestors and I know their history, you don't want no ass whooping over my family. And then I got some relatives. And I told Sister Modi, not only will you get your ass whooped, you might get molested. You be like, did he just stick his finger in my hole? Male or female? I got some strange people in my family. But I know my history. I know their history. I know the spirits that work with me. So I'm just telling you, you don't necessarily want to get in a fight with one of my relatives on the street, because you gonna need a rape kit. I'm just here to tell you, the truth is you might need a rape kit. You gonna need them to do a diagnosis on your autopsy on your body, but I promise you, you have been violated. They gonna knock your ass out, and then they gonna knock your ass out. I got them kind in my bloodline. I have found these today. I don't know if y'all remember these longboard coconut. I found that, but I'm like, I know I'm something else. I know my history. I might not be as in certain aspects be as crazy as some of them, but if you ever want to know why I venerate my ancestors the way I do, I know my people don't play. I would never, like some of y'all be going to y'all ancestors saying certain things. I would never go to my dad's grave with that foolishness. I would never go to my grandma's grave with that foolishness. My people do not play. And then when I say I want money for certain things, I'm going to do what I'm supposed to be doing. But my people will whoop your ass. They believe in that. On my mama's side and my daddy's side. They believe in Nutsville. And I'm talking about Knuckle City. The energy in my bloodline is real. Oh yeah, these are good. But I found today, I had to go get some for my voodoo doll, and I seen the packing, and I'm like, cause I ain't seen these in so long. And I got me a pack of them, cause it came like this. I was a kid last time I think I remember being young. The reason I'm telling y'all this is, you have to venerate people and understand their history. I venerate Mr. Mario the way that I do, not only as remembrance his energy, because he's also a child of Old Chelsea. And I venerate him according to those concepts and those precepts, because I am a child of Oya. The same way, if you're gonna venerate a Egun or a spirit, you have to venerate them for who they are. If they practice Obeah, they practice conjure, their mysticism, whatever. You have to honor them for who their energy is. That's the same thing Jacob was doing. These was your favorite too? Oh my God, it's so good. I love them. But these are the things that I tell people all the time when it comes down to ancestors. That's why a lot of people, when they try to do stuff to me, they get messed up. Because my ancestors believe in fighting. So when I do a reversal Or what like if you come in there trying to mess with my energy and stuff, like that's why I'm telling my son, my youngest son, you don't know my history. And you over here talking about your mama and grandma. I whoop your mama ass, your grandma ass, and fight your brother. I'm talking about without calling nobody in my family. It's real over here. So one of the things that I did decide when he got older, the only way you gonna have some peace if I don't come around. Because if something be said or something done, I'm gonna react to it. My spirit dad taught me how to fight spiritually. I learned how to flip a car at 13 years old. I'm 51, about to be 52. I learned how to flip cars spiritually, supernaturally. I told one lady, I said, keep blessing me. I will appear in the back of your car and find you a nice tree to wrap your ass around. Keep playing with me. I am not the one. So I grew up learning real conjure. This is why I be telling people, you don't have the money for me to be doing that type of conjure and sorcery. But when y'all get into Haitian voodoo, some of y'all gonna start experiencing y'all protection level of when people start tampering with y'all. It get very aggressive over there. Orishas, one thing. My Apollo spirit, all aggressive. All my Apollo spirit. And then even my Orishas, all my Orishas are warriors. But they're not aggressive as my Eguns. But that reversal that I've been doing, it's been serious, y'all. I wanted to share this with y'all because there's too many melanated people getting into the Orishas, go out in pieces, and you're not considering your history, your contract. You're not considering. If I tell you, Bo, I thank you so much. I love your testimony, Bo. You texted me earlier, but thank you so much for texting me that testimony, because I really enjoy what I do, and I love the fact that many of you guys contact me and let me know what's going on and certain manifestations that are going on. And I tell you, like if I didn't have it for you, I wouldn't do what I'm doing. I would not be putting myself in a certain position. A lot of people, ancestors don't ride for them like that. Don't mean that the ancestors don't ride with them. They don't ride with them like that. And that's why a lot of people get hurt when they call themselves working on me or doing conjure against me, because they don't know the history of my bloodline. Somebody said, thank you for laughing. You might have found it funny, but it's the truth. My son here, ain't nothing I'm making up. I ain't telling you everything, and I ain't even exaggerating. I just know how far to go with my family. My behavior is very condicative to the tree that I came from. My mindset, how I function, why I function the way, has a lot to do with that. I'm sexually aggressive, like that. I'm a very dominant man. And sometimes that turns people on, sometimes it turns people off. I personally don't care. But that's the magic that I do. And if you really trying to get in, and if I tell you, I don't care if you gay, straight or bi, if I rock with you, I rock with you. If I love you, I love you. If I care about you, I care. If I don't, I don't. I don't. But thank you. Wait a minute, I don't know what I did. I hope to see many of you guys, if you will, see you guys in my team membership. I hope that some of you guys have made up your mind to become a part of my 13th circle. I hope that some of you guys know exactly where I'm headed when it comes down to when I say real magic, and to get to have real goals. So things are happening in your life on a consistent basis because you have things that you're actually trying to accomplish, that you're not wasting time. I do realize that everybody cannot talk the way that I talk because they ain't got it like I got it. And I understand that when I say things like that, people are always trying to throw at me. I don't really personally care. Because at the end of the day, my ego is going to protect me and bring me through. If you want to be supported by somebody that is going to be realistic, sober-minded, and aggressive about his approach in life, I'm going to be proactive. I'm a strategist. I'm always trying to give you different things that you can have confidence in the magic that I do. I'm always trying to strive to earn people's trust. I'm really looking for Monique to really jump into that membership we discussed about, even though she is a member in Palo, but I'm looking for her to sashay into that other column so she can get a better look at how Apostle really get down. You know, Minister Mario saw a lot because of the fact that he was so close to me and I was doing certain levels of conjure, not only for him, but the situation. But, you know, this is why I don't have issues with my exes like a lot of you guys. Like I told you, my son, like, if your money was right, then you think you got testimonies now. You think you got evidence now. But if your money was really right and you could really cash out me some real money, oh my God. On today. And I'm just working with people and trying to give people opportunity. But the real me, how I get down, how I was trained to get down, if their money was right, you think you have testimony. I am a force to be reckoned with. That's why a lot of those tatas and stuff that they get in Ocha, a lot of these people get messed up because they looking at, well, oh, I've been crowned longer than he been crowned, or I've been scratched longer than he been scratched. You will wear the ass whooping of the century fooling with me. When I tell you my powers are extraterrestrial, and you think that you're going to come in here because, and I told them even when I got first to go through my crowning, Minister Mario had recently passed. I told him, I said, listen, I'm not Minister Mario, son of a Chosi. And I know that I'm a EIO, I'm a babe in Ocha. But I want you to know one thing about this babe. I'm a baby kid. I will whoop your ass as a child in this Ocha. And they took me for something to play with. They didn't do their proper divination. And a lot of them done got hemmed up. Even though they've been in Risha and Santero and all that, people don't call me apologize. Oh no, I'm so sorry. This I don't want to get. No, it's too late now. You should have stayed out of that. When I told you I was not to be fucked up with, I don't disrespect nobody's tradition, their longevity, how long they've been practicing, and what they've been doing, root work or conjure. You get in a fight with me, you gonna know you been in a fight. A lot of these people trying to get a name off of my reputation and my history that I already got, they know they ain't in no fight with me. You ain't in no fight with me. You might be coming against my protection. You might be coming against my reversal. But if you was in a fight with me, I'll sling your ass out of a window, out your apartment. I would drag your ass spiritually down the road. I would take your car and grab the front end of your car and find you a nice wall to hit that wall in there. That when you in a fight with me, I ask my exes. I had that they come back, please, don't kill my brother. I had my mother-in-law tell my wife, told her, if my child die, I'm blaming you. You brought this monster. That's what she used to call me, a monster. She said, you brought this monster into our family. No, you brought this ass whooping into our family because I ain't the one. I don't care what kind of root work, conjure, mystic. I told her straight up, being my wife is one thing. Being my baby mama is another, because I don't play about my kids. I will fuck their mamas up by my children. I do not play by my kids. That's why my youngest son, my oldest son was saying, he don't know you, Dad. No, he don't. He think he want me over there. He would not have a family on his mama's side if I was over there. Because I would be like a hurricane. I would snatch every tree, every family tree. I would uproot that shit left and right. It'd be splinters going everywhere. Because I don't have the temperament. I'm a Sag, my moon is Aries, and my rising sign Pisces, and I don't believe especially if I don't feel like I owe you an explanation. If you wasn't there when the fucking was going on, I don't want to hear from you. Only person I ain't gonna carry on like that is my mom and my daddy. But if you are not my mother and my father, you can get this smoke, and I will tear your ass from one end to the other. But that's why I don't bother nobody. They used to hate when I went on vacation because she said, "Oh, somebody gonna get their ass." Well, exactly. I got 7 days, and I'm gonna take 3 or 4 of them days and put the what's happening on somebody's ass. Cause I ain't the one. So I fight naturally and spiritually, but mostly spiritual now. I'm older. I done got to the age now. I ain't finna fight you. I'm gonna shoot you right in the forehead. If you have the head of all your enemies will fuck around sound like heart. Oh, I do. My head is crown Oya and Babalu. Oya don't play, and my mother in Palo is Centella. I don't know. Out of all the other spiritualists, why did you pick me? Why did you pick me to get attitude? Half of these saints in my church, when they be getting upset with me, they don't know I slap the shit out of them. And that's spiritual. You couldn't even put your dentures back in your mouth because I've been slap the shit out of you. Half of y'all got attitude with me. If y'all were dealing with the 20-year-old me to 30, you can be a grandmother. I'll whoop your ass. Grandfather, you can be on a walking cane. I'm a lot nicer now. I'm not nice. I'm nicer. I'm not nice. I'm nicer. Cause I realize people don't really know my history, and I be trying to give people a benefit of the doubt. But you catch me on one of these days and my money funny and I'm horny and I ain't got no good head done, I might fuck you up for free. I'm gonna be honest. Hit that like button, hit your share. Yeah, oh, you don't play about my here. She don't let him more. But she has to give respect to my voodoo spirit, my Lord. But anybody else, coming out, my spirits are very jealous of me. All right. I know some of y'all done got all wet because it's, I don't know what it is. The more dangerous a man or woman is, the more y'all want to give them some ass. Some of y'all need to go to therapy. So I start talking like this. Next thing I know, I get all kind of pictures. People want to just, why you want me to treat your spinal cord like a xylophone? Why you, what? So, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all on the flip, all right? God bless.